Hello and welcome everyone, Lionheart here with game 2 out of 2 of the Scan Invitational Total War Rome 2 tournament in association with Intel that was fought between myself and Pointman, or rather the games I played against Pointman, not the whole tournament. But yeah, previous game is in the description. I was playing as Rome against Pointman playing as Egypt. This time I've chosen to go Barbarian, and actually so is Pointman. I'm playing as a Suebi and Pointman is playing as the Arverni. I've got 3 longbow hunters, 6 sword masters and 3 berserkers, along with 4 units of cavalry, 3 of them being noble riders and 1 Germanic scout rider. This was a build that some of you suggested I try out on my Facebook page, which is in the description as well, if you want to check that out, and feel free to give me more future builds, and you'll see how I do with this build very soon. Pointman playing as the Arverni, he has 6 units of Oathsworn, then he has 5 units of noble cavalry, and then 2, I think, scout units, or scout cav units rather. Yes, we've got the noble horse over here. He's got 5 of them all lined up. Again, he's going for a big mobile cavalry force. The idea of, I guess, pinning with the Oathsworn and then smashing in the flanks with his cavalry. I've got some more cavalry than I did. Actually, I've got the same amount of cavalry I had as last time, but these ones should hopefully be a bit more effective when I was playing as Rome. But again, I'm playing as a defender in this map. This is the role I take on in this one, as decided through the tournament rules. Scouting with my scout riders over on the right. Not too bothered necessarily about losing them, just kind of trying to work out where the enemy's position is. As obviously with the line of sight system in Rome 2, you do need to actually scout now and then. So scouting has revealed he's got troops moving up on top of this hill, but he is going to have to come to me, and I'm trying to kind of fortify the ridge line that I'm on. Moment. It's not the best position, annoyingly, to actually face an enemy effectively, so I actually decided to push down kind of through the forest a little bit towards the other side of the slope, so they will have to engage me. And it's not scout riders that he's got, it's light horse, which I decided to charge with a frenzied charge with my scout riders at the last moment, because they probably were going to get munched with all his cavalry there. It does kind of distract and pull apart his troops a little bit, but they don't fare too well, and with the charge from the other light horse, their fate is sealed effectively. Watching that noble horse over on the left, fortunately I can't afford to commit all my cavalry over there, because it's going to be suicide. Again, it seems that I've got my cavalry on the wrong side of where I would need them, and ideally they would have been better suited all over on the right, which is what Pointman has essentially done, you know, just keeping his weaker cavalry over on the right there, and have his main cavalry force over on the left. But shows the power of the kind of the builds he's gone for. Lots of cavalry, you know, they're not particularly complicated builds, but you know, he knows his units, he knows what works. So I'm trying to use a combination now of obviously the berserkers and the sword masters, along with the longbow hunters, to chip away. But obviously both times Pointman hasn't bothered with skirmisher units at all. You know, he's going for the hammer and anvil strikes working each time, and this is probably, you know, the simplest build for that. Line of strong, reliable infantry to hold and pin me at the front, and then powerful cavalry to smash through at the back. So seeing as his cavalry is moving off to the left, and knowing that I can't win an engagement with them head on, I decided to see if perhaps I can engage some of his Oathsworn, his infantry, and, you know, chip away at him that way, or, you know, tempt some of his cavalry units over towards me, which I think does distract him from his original plans. But as you'll see shortly, he's able to once again very quickly react to that and change his tactics and deployment. He's got those 2 light horses over on the right as well, which I'm having to think about. I've got some berserkers back there ready to engage. My cavalry pushing up this hill, obviously they can't get up there that quickly, they're tired already, so they can't really get in against the Oathsworn. So I pull my men right across his men, I don't know, trying to, you know, tempt his men that way, and also trying to bring some cavalry round to engage against the light troops, bring a unit of my noble horse back into the forest to engage with them, and at least try and defend my flank from potential attacks in the rear from Pointman's cavalry. So I changed my mind once again, seeing as I've got cavalry in the forest to defend my units. I tried to try and flank round Pointman's flanks now and put pressure on his units there. But again, I see his cavalry coming in, so I pull my cavalry back, trying to, you know, get them caught up with the cavalry and my infantry there. And I've got my shields up, my shield wall position, but again, Pointman very meticulous with his macro there, able to pull his cavalry back just at the right moment so that my cavalry can't pin him with the infantry. So I decided to forget about the light horse, you know, they're light troops, and instead move in with my my heavy troops. I do manage to get a few shots off with my longbow hunters, and I bring my I have to form them back up because at the same time Pointman now descends from the hilltop with his Oathsworn troops, and we have his cavalry incoming, and my general gets caught up in this mix, not able to really pull out, so we try and do as much as we can to engage that unit and do some damage against the noble horse. This unit of noble horse I've got chasing after the light horse while the rest of his cavalry move round on the flank, but again he's managed to pick apart my lines, and here my cavalry is distracted. He's able to swoop down my lines against my archers and against my infantry, and there's not much I can do because he's been able to pull my troops out where they need to be and pull my formation out of what it was. Arguably didn't have the best formation up on this hill, and again when I'm up against superior cavalry forces with no pike or spear troops, this is gonna happen. So I try and engage against his cavalry with my infantry as much as possible to just try and beat them. My general's unit is already wavering. I managed to try and pull them back to charge into the back of this unit here and try and break one of them, but it doesn't work too well. Meanwhile he's pushing forward with the rest of his Oathsworn, so I'm sending berserkers against his Oathsworn, which I'm sure you guys will have some reservations about, but at the time it was all I could do to hold off the tide of units coming towards me, and I'm using Frenzy and Headhunt at the same time, getting my longbow hunters to turn around and start firing on his cavalry. I do manage to repel that one unit of cavalry, which, you know, gives me a bit of hope to push out and try and engage the rest of his cav. You know, if they can't get that charge bonus, I might have a chance with my slightly more powerful infantry, but his light horse, which obviously have a bit of a skirmish ability there, come in, rip apart my my longbow hunters there, and now across the board my sword masters are pulled out of formation, out of protection from the other units, and I'm fighting catch up with obviously activating my special abilities there, and he's able to break through and smash in against my berserkers, which even up against the Oathsworn don't have the punch that I had hoped for them. Pointman now flanking around with his cavalry. He's encircled me. I've got no flanks protected whatsoever. He's got units behind my lines, in between my lines, all over my lines. Whichever way you look at this, I am quite screwed. And now Pointman swoops in to claim his second victory and progress on to the next round of the tournament, knocking me out. But this was an incredibly fun matchup. Really enjoyed it. Obviously, certainly not a multiplayer. Not even a veteran, or, you know, probably still at noob level when it comes to Rome 2 multiplayer. But hopefully get better with time. Try and use some of Pointman's tactics, and, you know, get that big cavalry force. So GG and well played to Pointman there, and good luck in the rest of the tournament for him. He eventually finished up third in the tournament, which I think is a fantastic achievement. There were some great battles in the rest of it, and as I said previously in the other game we played, obviously I've just saved the replay here. Link to Pointman's channel is in the description, so feel free to go check him out and subscribe. He's got a lot of great online multiplayer content there, and if you're ever looking for some builds, that is the place to go. So there you go, there is a screenshot showing the stats. I deployed 1,410, Pointman deploying 1,140 again. I had more troops, but the troops he's chosen, the cavalry, far more effective. I've lost 1,059, Pointman losing 329, killing a few more of his troops than I did last time, I think, getting a few more kills myself, but Pointman just decimating my troops there and annihilating them, shredding through the ranks and causing a lot of chaos, mopping me up in 7 minutes and 38 seconds. So I hope you've enjoyed these two games from the Scan Invitational Total War Rome 2 tournament in association with Intel. Once again, thanks to Pointman for destroying me and you know, thrashing my arse in both of those games, but great fun, and congrats to him for coming third overall in the tournament in the end as well. So yeah, his link to his channel is in the description, and I will see you all again soon. Comment, rate, subscribe. Ciao for now.